They laughed at humanity's weakness. Then a human walked out of the arena, covered in alien blood. The Galactic Council had always considered humans a curiosity, soft-bodied bipeds from a backwater world who somehow stumbled into faster-than-light travel through sheer accident rather than evolutionary superiority. When the Terran Dawn limped into Nexus Station with failing engines and a desperate crew, the assembled representatives of a dozen species saw it as an opportunity for entertainment. "Look at them," chittered Ambassador Zexhai, her crystalline carapace gleaming under the station's harsh lights. No natural armor, no enhanced bone density, no redundant organs. How did such fragile creatures ever survive their own planet? The Corvan delegate, a towering mass of muscle and chitin, rumbled his agreement. "My youngest spawn could tear one apart with minimal effort." Captain Sarah Chen stood before the council, her ship's critical systems failing and her crew's lives hanging in the balance. The humans needed rare quantum stabilizers to repair their jump drive, stabilizers that only the council controlled. "We're willing to work for them," Chen said, her voice steady despite the desperate circumstances. "Any labor, any task you require." The council members exchanged what passed for amused glances among their various species. It was the Thrakari representative who spoke first, his forearms gesturing dismissively. "Your species has nothing to offer that our automated systems cannot accomplish more efficiently." "However," interrupted Counselor Vorth, a serpentine being whose species had conquered half their sector through combat prowess, "there is one way your kind might earn what you need." The arena on Nexus Station had been built for entertainment. Specifically, the entertainment of watching lesser species fight to the death against the galaxy's apex predators. It was considered the ultimate test of biological superiority, and few non-apex species had ever volunteered. "One of your crew against our champion," Vorth continued, his forked tongue tasting the air with anticipation. "Victory earns you the stabilizers. Defeat—" He left the implication hanging. The Council's champion was a Zarathi warrior, 8 feet of evolved killing machine with razor-sharp claws, armored hide, and reflexes that operated faster than most species could think. In 3 years, it had never lost a match. Without hesitation, Chen's security chief, Marcus Rodriguez, stepped forward. "I'll do it." The laughter that erupted from the council chamber was deafening. The Corvan delegate actually fell backward in his chair, his massive frame shaking with mirth. Even the normally stoic Thrakari found the gesture amusing. "A human?" wheezed Ambassador Zexhai. "Against a Zarathi? This will be over in seconds." Word spread quickly through Nexus Station. Betting pools opened with odds running 10,000 to 1 against the human. The arena filled with spectators from dozens of species, all eager to witness what they assumed would be a brief and bloody demonstration of human inadequacy. Rodriguez stood in the center of the arena, wearing only basic, protective gear that the council had reluctantly provided. Across from him, the Zarathi champion prowled, a nightmare of evolved predatory perfection named Scarthul, its yellow eyes fixed on the human with the confidence of a creature that had never known defeat. The starting klaxon sounded. Scarthul lunged with impossible speed, claws extended to disembowel the fragile human in a single strike, but Rodriguez wasn't there. Years of combat experience on humanity's violent homeworld had taught him something the galaxy's apex predators had never learned: how to fight dirty. As Scarthul's momentum carried it past where Rodriguez had been, standing, the human pivoted and drove his elbow into the base of the alien skull, right where he'd observed the neural cluster during the pre-fight inspection. The Zarathi stumbled, more surprised than hurt. But that moment of confusion was all Rodriguez needed. What followed wasn't the clean, honorable combat that the galaxy's apex species were accustomed to. Rodriguez fought like what he was, a member of a species that had clawed its way to the top of the food chain on a death world through cunning, adaptability, and absolute ruthlessness when survival was on the line. He used the arena's walls for leverage, turning Scarthul's superior strength against it. He exploited the Zarathi's reliance on natural weapons by staying inside its reach where claws couldn't effectively strike. When Scarthul tried to pin him, Rodriguez bit down on the alien's arm with human teeth, evolutionary tools designed for tearing meat, and held on while driving his thumbs into nerve clusters he'd memorized from xenobiology texts. The crowd's cheers turned to confused murmurs, then to shocked silence. This wasn't how apex predators fought. This was something primal and vicious that they didn't recognize. Rodriguez didn't just defeat Scarthul, he systematically dismantled it. Every joint hyperextended beyond its breaking point. Every nerve, cluster targeted with surgical precision. Every weakness that evolution had hidden beneath armor and muscle, ruthlessly exploited by a species that had learned to hunt creatures far larger and stronger than themselves. When it was over, Rodriguez stood over Scarthul's broken form, his own body covered in the champion's fluorescent blood. His breathing was steady, his stance relaxed. He looked up at the silent crowd and asked, "Who's next?" The arena remained silent for nearly a full minute before the council's speaker found his voice. The combat is concluded. Humanity has earned the requested materials." As Rodriguez walked out of the arena, the assembled representatives of the galaxy's most powerful species finally understood something crucial about the soft-bodied bipeds from Earth. Physical weakness was irrelevant when a species possessed something far more dangerous, the willingness to do whatever it took to survive. The quantum stabilizers were delivered within the hour. No one wanted to keep the humans waiting any longer than necessary.